All right, Rob, let's get to this. And it's something you've been saying for a long time. And what's interesting is that one of LeBron James's teammates, now he didn't reference you, but he's sharing the same sentiment that you shared for years, that you think LeBron James has ruined basketball. And Iman Shumpert, one of his teammates with the Cleveland Cavaliers, said the same thing. Here he is on the Bootleg Kev podcast this week.
It wasn't Katie. It was Bron first going to Miami. Bron knows he ruined basketball.
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you think that was – I always look at the
Bron
first –
ruined basketball.
So
he thought he was making it better. I get him.
So you think LeBron ruined it for everything?
Me personally, I love the NBA for the loyalty that I thought was there. He basically knocked the fourth wall down like, man, the owners ain't – they bull. We doing what we want. Great business move for sure, but – when you think about it outside looking in, like, I got people tweeting me right now. They like literally talking about owners and trades. It's like, bro, y'all not supposed to be talking about none of this, actually.
Right. All right, there he is, Iman Shumpert. I'm gonna let you go ahead, Rob. I'm sure some music will come in at some point.
No, we don't. You know what's funny, Chris? To be honest, I'm glad you gave me credit for this. Some credit. Because I have been saying
well,
this for
I don't
years.
know if it's credit, but
but at least that I've said this before a long time ago, right? 5 years ago. I actually even pitched a book to a company, Chris, about this. I pitched a book.
I'm sure they'd want that book. Where's that stand?
They were like,
what? They didn't want that book?
Can you believe that? I pitched the book
that don't make
sense. It don't even make sense, Chris. No. I pitched this book about 3 or 4 years ago. And they wrote me back and was like, they didn't want it. I was like, okay. Was
it
surprised.
Uninterrupted you pitched? Was that the company?
No, that was.
I mean, my goodness.
No, that would be
Maverick
a mistake,
Carter
right?
was like, no, we're not going that route.
Right. I don't know. Maybe they had some relationship with LeBron, but they were like, I was floored. To be honest,
I'm shocked at that.
That they like, people are looking for a good book and stuff. But anyway, Shumpert is correct. And LeBron has ruined the NBA, and he has a right as a free agent to do whatever he wants. But what I was saying is, I don't believe, Chris, that some of the movement that we saw would have happened had LeBron stayed put. I'm not sure that KD would have left OKC and
Rob. I don't necessarily agree with you, and I'm going to obviously share my point after you, but. You are 100. I don't even think, and I'm going to say this, I don't think it even enters Kevin Durant's mind to go to Golden State. Like, I just think you're like, that's not even possible. No way. You don't even think about it, right? You don't even think about it.
I agree. And I think also what he did was to upset the apple cart in the Eastern Conference. And people say, well, what's the big deal? Toronto and Miami and Cleveland. Well, what it did was, it had a domino effect, and then he put together a team that he honestly believed when he said that, not 2, not 3, not 4. Like, he honestly believed, like, he had put together a dream team, Chris, and they were going to win, am I right? 4 or 5 championships.
Yep.
That was not hyperbole.
I don't think
that was what he thought.
Rob, I'm sure you were against the move right that night, and obviously most of the basketball world, to be honest. I was one of the ones in the minority when I was on SportsCenter talking about, basically not killing him. But even you would say, don't you think most people thought they were going to win at least 3 rings?
Oh, yeah. They were going to do something special.
In 4 years.
Like, right? And three in a row, like the Lakers last did with Shaq and Kobe. That puts you in rarefied air. Doing something like that. 2 out of 4, Chris. And even, losing to Dallas was a bad mark on that team. I know they won 2 championships. I'm not going to kill them. Right. But that was a bad loss to a 1-star team with some aging veterans, right? They should have won that.
Right.
They needed the Ray Allen shot and all the other stuff. Like, it was a struggle. It wasn't as easy.
I don't think that was one of the best teams ever.
No, it just wasn't. It really didn't form and come together, but it did change the dynamics of the league, and there have always been dominant teams, so I'm not going to say that, but they were organically happened, and it just felt different, Chris. I get the Celtics, I get the Lakers, but even when the Lakers got Magic, it was via a trade of something that happened and nobody knew there was going to be that pick. You know, like it was very fortunate that it happened that way for them.
And they were
Right. But I'm saying it became they got a pick because they were a good team and they were able to get it. So I think Shumpert is right that LeBron has ruined the NBA in a way, and that's why it was great. And I wrote this column for Deadspin when Giannis decided to stay, that the NBA should be thankful for him to buck the trend that LeBron started. And I'll say one last thing and let you go. And you're right when you bring up Durant and that he probably wouldn't even thought about going to Golden State, but I've said it a million times. LeBron started MySpace, and then Durant and the Warriors started Facebook. And they blew LeBron out of the water. And Chris, think about this. It probably cost LeBron a couple of championships, like on the back end.
Yes, but would he have won? But he did get 2 championships in Miami. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying.
I agree with you.
But it did cost him later on if that super team was never built by him putting that blueprint out there. So I'm not saying he could have stayed in Cleveland. Maybe he kind of got a team, and maybe they could have won, and Kevin Durant never went there. I'm just saying it's ironic how that actually wound up costing him.
Right. Okay, here's what I say. So the only thing I agree with what Shumpert said was when he said, I guess the interviewer asked him, did KD ruin basketball or whatever, right? And he said, no, it was LeBron. Only thing I agree with him on is when he says LeBron kind of triggered what KD did. Because we said it. I don't even think it enters his mind to go to a team that had just beaten you in the Western Conference Finals, a team that had already won a championship. Like, I just don't think it pops into his mind to go there if LeBron doesn't go to Miami. So he's right that LeBron kind of started this trend of players leaving their teams and going to quote-unquote super teams. But here's where I disagree. I think LeBron just empowered players, and I think that's a good thing. You alluded to it, Rob. There have always been quote-unquote super teams. We think of the Lakers in the 80s with Magic, Kareem, Worthy, Norm Nixon, so on and so forth. We think of Bird, McHale, Parrish, Dennis Johnson, so on and so forth. Dr. J, even the one year they won it with Moses Malone, and he already had Andrew Toney and some really good players, Mo Cheeks. But you can go back further than that, Rob. And I'm not talking about the 60s with the Boston Celtics. I'm talking about the Lakers when they had Elgin Baylor, Jerry West, and Wilt Chamberlain. So you've had super teams long before LeBron, and we always talk about the Celtics with Garnett, Pierce, and Ray Allen. Okay.
Yeah, but the only difference
I agree, they were organic.
They were trades.
They were put together by the teams. However, why can't players put together a team? If the players can do it, well, then what's the problem? Like, if a GM can do it, why can't it? Let me finish.
I want to answer.
I do think players have taken it too far. Ben Simmons, what he's doing is ridiculous. It's a travesty, and it's horrible for the game. And believe you me, the owners are going to crush the players in the next collective bargaining agreement.
They have to
stop this, right? What James Harden did in leaving Houston, I didn't agree with. What Anthony Davis did in leaving New Orleans, I don't like. LeBron James has never, think about it, Rob, he has always played out his contract and gone to the nth degree in that final year to win the championship. He tried his best. He failed, but he would try. He never shortchanged his team. Now, just like you shouldn't blame Jordan, because when he came in and he was so dynamic and high-flying and one-on-one, that a generation of players began playing one-on-one basketball to the detriment of the game. Or you can't blame Steph Curry because he shot from 30 feet, that now you got a generation of guys shooting shots they shouldn't take. You can't blame that on Curry or Jordan. It's not their fault. Other people copied them who weren't capable of doing it and took it to the nth degree in a negative way. I think you're Ben Simmons, Anthony Davis, Harden, if you want to track them to LeBron, okay. But they took it to a place it never should have gone. That's not LeBron's fault. LeBron did it the right way. When I'm a free agent, I'll do what I want to do. But until then, I'm playing out my contract. And if the GM and the president can't get you a championship level team, then you can do it yourself, then do it.
No, I'd say this is where I disagree with that. I think what LeBron did in trying to stack the deck, he messed with the integrity, and it's the reason you have a draft. It's a reason that you try to spread the wealth of talent. And once you do that from a competitive standpoint, and you're trying to stack the deck in your favor, it takes away some of it. That's why it's not only just reporters or people. You hear veteran players, Clyde and Walt Clyde Frazier and other people are like, well, LeBron, they kind of wink and say, well, I don't know because he stacked the deck. I heard Dr. J say it. It's just a different thing when you talk about competitiveness and whether or not you want to beat some of the best players in your era. Right. I think that's what LeBron has taken away from us.
But everybody's not buying into that.
I'm just saying.
The two best players of this generation, LeBron and Durant, have bought into it.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
That's it.
That's what I love.
I shouldn't say that's it, but
yeah,
but
but I just love like the competition factor of it is about beating people, and that's that AAU style. I want to hear from people.
I've always said, Rob, if you put them side by side, the guy that goes to the park and is like, give me whoever, and wins, has done more than the guy that goes to the park and says, you know what? I was watching y'all. All right, give me this dude, give me that dude, and they're the best ones there.
Right.
I'll give you that. So if you stack up, say, what Jordan or Giannis did compared to what LeBron and KD did, Jordan and Giannis had a greater accomplishment. I'll give you that.
Okay.
But I don't think it's been bad for the game. Golden State was bad for the game. Okay. But Miami, it adds excitement, Rob. Brooklyn is exciting now with the 3 stars. Miami was exciting. Golden State, not really, because they were so much better than everybody else. But it has been exciting when guys come together. Kawhi and Paul George. I mean, I don't think it's bad for the game. And you got more competitive balance now than you had in the 80s. 80s, 5 teams made the finals.
Yeah,
not won it, made it.
It doesn't.
You had no freaking competitive balance in the 80s.
It doesn't feel like that. Facts.
I bring facts. You bring feelings. I bring facts.
Even if the team that didn't make it, like when right.
877-99 on Fox. Do you agree with Shumpert and Rob that LeBron ruined basketball?
All right, let's kick it off with Sam in New Orleans. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What up, Sam?
Hey, what's up, Rob and Chris?
What's up, brother?
Oh, man, look, long-time listener. Want to say y'all doing such a good job, man. I can't even listen to other shows no more.
Well, I appreciate that.
Thank you, brother. That is the ultimate compliment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look, man, y'all always speaking facts, and it's like the other shows I just can't take anymore. But anyways, of course, Shumpert and Rob is right. So, Chris, you need to stop it. So listen, I want you to listen to this. LeBron left. He went to Miami. He was 2 for 4. Everybody say he wants to go back to Cleveland and win for Cleveland. He didn't do that. He saw Kyrie Irving.
No. That's where you're wrong.
You know what?
That's where you're wrong.
No.
He went back to Cleveland to win a ring or for that city. And to make things right with his home fan base. There's no question. Now, he saw that they had a great guard in Kyrie, but come on, it wasn't just because that looked like a great team.
Look, just listen up. Kyrie Irving was young.
Go ahead. Yeah.
And he said, I'm thinking in his mind, all right, Dwayne Wade's knees out. I'm about to go with Kyrie and start doing some trades with Kyrie.
You're wrong.
For Kevin Love.
You're wrong.
Now look.
All right. The fact that Kyrie was there was good. Yes, everybody knew he was a great young player. He wasn't winning jack. LeBron didn't go there thinking they're going to win a championship right away. He even said it in his letter when he went back. And Rob, you know that.
The letter that didn't have
Wiggins. It wasn't like he went there.
Didn't have Wiggins in the letter. You remember that?
Right. He wanted Kevin Love. He didn't go there, though, like, let me join another super team. They became a super team with Love and Kyrie and LeBron.
I always knew he was going back because he couldn't face his hometown by
right. I thought he was going back to I mean, he didn't do it. Oh, that's the next great squad. He could have went somewhere else.
The situation was great because he did have Kyrie there,
right.
But he had to go make right.
Yeah,
because nobody wants to live where you can't go back home, Chris. I don't care how big you are, how much money you make. You know, like your persona non grata, and I think that was hurt. All right, let's go to Phil in Fontana, California, where my Aunt Macy lives in Fontana. What's happening, Phil? You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
Hey, Rob, stop being a fuddy duddy, man. Listen, it's real.
I ain't heard that one in a while.
I know. Wow, I know.
You sound black. You black?
Phil, I'm giving you Fontana love, and that's what I get.
Using the word fuddy duddy.
I know.
All right, go ahead. What you got, man?
It's real simple. Have you ever played pickup ball and you dominating? What happens? Somebody who's losing wants to stack their team to beat them. So you either win or you watch it. That's the same at every level. Don't colleges recruit the best players?
It's not. That's Phil. That's not true. It's not true in the NBA. There were players who could have gone to teams. Phil. All right, Phil. You're not trying to have a conversation, okay? Because you're just screaming, and I guess you got your own show. So we're not going to have that conversation because I know of players who turned down trades
Rob,
to join people.
It's not even you don't have to go. Damian Lillard.
Right. Damian Lillard
is like, I'm staying here.
Giannis could have gone to Miami. Right. Wasn't Miami set up for Giannis to go join them and then try to win? And he didn't go there. So that's not the case.
No, you're right.
Phil, sorry.
Yeah. Some players don't want to do that.
Some players aren't into that. Everybody doesn't go, oh, I just want to be on the best team. I don't care. No, that's not true.
Here's where I'll defend LeBron and KD. Because, KD was even more, he stacked it even more. But here's where I'll defend him, Rob. Those two were at such a level that they had to win championships. Damian Lillard, as great as he is, ain't nobody going to kill him if he doesn't win the championship. Giannis, yes. So I'll give Giannis that credit.
They were killing Giannis when he stayed. You remember that, Chris?
Right. But you know what I'm saying, though, Rob. I mean, LeBron's being compared to Michael Jordan. He had to win rings. Don't you agree with that?
No, he
or
did.
It really crushes you.
No, it would have been. Oh, he would have been.
And Durant is same thing. Those are two. There's only a handful of players that are that great where they gotta win a ring, and those